The RMS Queen Mary, once the crown jewel of the seas, now rests in Long Beach, California as a floating hotel and museum. But beneath its glamorous history lies a darker truth. A history steeped in tragedy, echoing with the whispers of restless souls lost in the annals of maritime legend. Tonight we uncover 10 creepy facts about the Queen Mary that will send chills down your spine. Facts that reveal the ship's haunting grip on the veil between our world and the next. Prepare yourself because we're diving deep into the heart of darkness. The Queen Mary isn't just haunted. It's one of the most haunted places on this planet. Over 50 reported deaths have occurred on board, from freak accidents to souls who ended their journey on those cold steel decks. Paranormal investigators have documented countless eerie occurrences within these rusted walls. Disembodied voices whisper from the walls, their chilling tones echoing through the empty corridors. Shadowy figures, glimpses of something moving just beyond perception, are witnessed in the dead of night. It's as if the ship itself is a conduit, drawing lost spirits to it. Some say the Queen Mary is a floating prison for these lost souls, trapped within the steel hull. They're tethered to this place by unfinished business, by pain, by their untimely demise. And trust me, when you're on board, you can feel it, the weight of their sorrow, their confusion, their anger. This isn't just a haunted house, folks. This is a different breed of fear. Deep in the bowels of the Queen Mary, there's a place that sends shivers down my spine. This is the engine room, haunted by Half-Hatch Harry. Harry, a crew member named John Pedder, met a gruesome end in 1966. A watertight door slammed shut on him during a drill. Imagine the raw terror and darkness as he was trapped. Visitors report hearing unexplained knocking sounds. The feeling of being watched sets this place apart. Some claim to see his shadowy figure, a man in overalls. He's trapped in a loop of terror, unable to escape. Half-Hatch Harry is a chilling reminder of the Queen Mary's unforgiving nature. The Queen Mary was the epitome of luxury in her heyday. A floating palace where the elite rubbed elbows and sipped champagne. And nowhere was this opulence more evident than in the first-class swimming pool. Visitors have reported seeing a ghostly figure gliding along the pool deck. A young woman in a vintage 1930s swimsuit. She shimmers at the edge of vision, a whisper of her former self, forever bound to the place where she may have met her end. Imagine standing by that empty pool, the air thick with chlorine, when suddenly you hear it. The distinct sound of splashing water. Who is this spectral swimmer? Some believe she's a passenger who drowned in the pool, her soul unable to break free from the watery depths that claimed her. Chapter 4. Echoes of War. The Grey Ghost's Hauntings. The Queen Mary isn't just about lavish parties and crossings. During World War II, she was repainted grey and became the Grey Ghost. In 1942, she collided with HMS Curacoa, sinking it. 239 souls were lost. Many believe their spirits still haunt the Queen Mary. Chapter 5. The Terror of Cabin B 340. If you're looking for a truly terrifying experience, look no further than Cabin B 340. Guests who dared to spend the night in B 340 have reported being scratched by unseen hands, waking in the dead of night to the sound of children's laughter echoing through the room. But the most terrifying reports tell of a ghostly figure, a shadowy apparition that sits at the foot of the bed, watching, waiting. The stories became so frequent, so terrifying, that the Queen Mary made the unprecedented decision to seal off Cabin B 340, locking it up and barring access to guests. Some whisper that it's the spirit of a passenger who was murdered in the room, their rage and anguish seeping into the very walls. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Cabin B 340 is a place of palpable dread, a chilling reminder that some doors are best left closed. Chapter 6. The ghostly laughter of the nursery. The Queen Mary in her prime was a floating city, a microcosm of life with all its joys and sorrows. Visitors have reported hearing phantom giggles and the pitter-patter of tiny feet running across the floor, even when the nursery is empty. Toys seemingly move on their own, rocking back and forth as if pushed by an invisible hand. Some believe these are the spirits of children who died on board, their innocent souls unable to move on from the place where their lives were cut short. The nursery serves as a chilling reminder that even in death, the innocence of childhood can be both heartwarming and utterly terrifying. Every haunted location has its iconic ghost, a spectral figure that embodies the mystery and intrigue of the place. On the Queen Mary, that figure is the Lady in White. She's a vision of elegance and sorrow, a shimmering apparition often seen gliding gracefully down the grand staircase, her white gown flowing behind her like a whisper of lost time. Who is this enigmatic figure? Some believe she's the spirit of a passenger who died tragically during the ship's heyday, her soul forever bound to the elegance and grandeur of the Queen Mary. Perhaps she was a socialite, attending a lavish ball, her laughter echoing through the grand ballroom, only to meet an untimely end later that night. Others believe the Lady in White is a former crew member, her spirit eternally bound to the ship she served on. Her presence, both beautiful and unsettling, serves as a reminder of the ship's glamorous yet haunted past, a spectral echo of a bygone era. Deep within the bowels of the Queen Mary, where the air is thick with engine oil and salt, a mystery chills the very marrow. It's the haunting tune of the Phantom Whistler. Imagine navigating the ship's lower decks, hearing a faint melodic whistling. Who is this Phantom Whistler? Some believe it's the spirit of a crew member, forever tethered to the ship. They say that objects can hold energy, absorbing the emotions and experiences of the people who owned them. And if that's true, then the artifacts of the Queen Mary must be teeming with a potent and potentially dangerous energy. Over the years, countless visitors have claimed that souvenirs taken from the ship, seemingly innocuous items like silverware, linens, or even pieces of wood, have brought them nothing but misfortune. Imagine holding a tarnished teaspoon in your hand, its once gleaming surface now dull and cold. Some believe that these objects are imbued with the spirits of those who died on board the Queen Mary, their restless souls clinging to the physical objects that were once part of their lives. By taking these souvenirs, you're not just taking a piece of history, you're inviting a piece of the Queen Mary's darkness into your home. The Queen Mary, despite decades of paranormal investigations, countless eyewitness accounts, and the tireless efforts of researchers and enthusiasts alike, remains an enigma. We've explored the chilling tales of Half-Hatch Harry, the spectral swimmer of the first-class pool, the grey ghost's wartime hauntings, and the terror of Cabin B 340. We've encountered the playful yet unsettling spirits of the nursery, the elegant Lady in White, and the haunting tune of the Phantom Whistler. We've delved into the mysteries of cursed artifacts and the lingering energy that seems to permeate every inch of this majestic yet troubled vessel. But for all the answers we've sought, the Queen Mary offers even more questions. Why are there so many spirits trapped on board? What is it about this particular ship that draws them in, holding them captive in this spectral purgatory? The RMS Queen Mary is more than just a ship. It's a time capsule of a bygone era, a witness to history's triumphs and tragedies, and a beacon for the paranormal. It's a place where the veil between our world and the next seems to thin, where the echoes of the past mingle with the whispers of the dead, and where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs. As you stand on her decks, feeling the gentle sway of the ship and the weight of countless unseen eyes upon you, you can't help but wonder, what secrets lie hidden beneath her steel skin? The RMS Queen Mary is more than just a ship. It's a gateway to the unknown. Will you dare to explore its haunted halls? Text on screen, would you spend the night on the Queen Mary? Eerie music fades out.